Chapter 22, Section 3, Unifying Italy. How did influential leaders help to create a unified Italy? Key obstacles, the roles that Cavour and Garibaldi play in the struggle, and the challenges that face the new nation of Italy. So when we look at obstacles to Italian unity, one of the things that you'll notice is the map on the right here is going to be constantly changing as it shows Italy becoming one nation. But when we get to Italy in like 1829, one of the things that you will see is that there's many different regions of Italy. And what had kind of happened over the course of Italian history, at least after the fall of the Roman Empire, is that this is a place of frequent warfare and foreign rule. I mean, if you think all the way back to when we first started talking about Italy after the fall of Rome, that the Holy Roman Empire spent a lot of time and energy trying to control this northern portion of Italy because there's a tremendous amount of wealth in there. And so what had kind of happened over the period of time is that people were pretty loyal and supportive of their own local region of Italy. And so that's going to be a real barrier to Italian unity because the regional differences and the regional loyalties are going to cause people to go region first, all of Italy second, and that's going to be a problem. When we look at the Congress of Vienna after the Napoleonic Wars, they totally ignore the call of Italian nationalists to create a unified Italy. Instead, what they did is they divided it up into a couple of big regions and kind of left it at that. And whenever you had some of these nationalist revolts taking place throughout Italy, you would see that all of these foreign troops would come in to crush it. So, for example, Mazzini, way back in 1830, when he is trying to create what he calls Young Italy, once he starts creating this Young Italy, almost immediately France sends forces down into Italy and topples his attempt to create a unified Italy. So that there's no help on the inside of Italy for unity, and there's zero help outside of Italy for this. So when we look at the struggle for Italy, Cavour becomes prime minister, and what he's going to do is in Sardinia, which is where he is from, he is going to build a very strong and powerful economy. He's going to invest in agriculture, he's going to invest in railroads, and he's going to try and expand trade. And what he's trying to do there is he's trying to create the wealth that he needs to then begin to industrialize Italy, which he hopes will move them towards unity. He forms alliances with both Britain and France to be able to buy Italy time and hopefully avoid any kind of outside interference. And when we start talking about Garibaldi, he supports this guy who's got thousands of volunteers and is moving to kind of drive foreign influence out and to be able to try and take over and unify Italy. And that's where Garibaldi comes in. So he's the red shirts. You can see in this painting this red shirt that he wore, and all of his volunteers wore those red shirts. And what they do is they win control of Sicily, and then from Sicily, then he is going to join forces with Victor Emmanuel, who is going to eventually become the king of Italy. And together, their forces defeat France, drive them out, and now Italy can move towards becoming a united country. Challenges facing the new nation. North Italy and South Italy are very different from each other. So not only do you have the regional differences inside there, but the northern part of Italy has far more cities. They've had far more trade, so they have a lot more money involved. And it's been the center of business and culture throughout Italy, going all the way back to the 10, 11, 1200s. When you look at the South, they're more rural, there's more poverty. They experience a population boom, and they have a hard time figuring out how to absorb that. And it's a mostly illiterate part of the country. So there's very distinct differences between the two, and it's going to make it difficult for them to kind of unify and get along together. The other thing that you see is Italy and the problems they're having with the Roman Catholic Church. And so what you'll see is these papal states are under control of the Pope. And when you watch this map, what you're going to see is that these papal states are little by little, bit by bit, going to shrink. And so the Pope isn't a very big fan of losing these lands that he is essentially in control of and he's emperor of. And on top of that, what he's going to experience is that he is going to have more limited rights and control over the lands that he has. And not only is he going to urge Catholics to not cooperate with this new nation, but he's going to urge all Italians, and the vast majority of Italy, they are Roman Catholic. So when he's speaking to Catholics, he's speaking to almost all of Italy, and he's encouraging them to be difficult, to be a pain in the butt. And so you can see way back when, this is everything that the Pope controlled, and in that very last map, you see that the papal states totally disappear from the map, and Italy is now finally a unified nation. So other challenges facing this new nation, not a lot of people have the right to vote, so there's these constant calls for more voting rights. You have a very extreme radical left. The socialists are urging people to go on strike. Anarchists are advocating the violent overthrow of the king, and so they're constantly leading attacks and bombings and all those types of things. What you see is rapid population growth, rapid urbanization, and Italy has a hard time with that process and transitioning over. All places had difficulty with this rapid urbanization, but Italy really struggles with it. And then you have that population growth on top of it, and they really have a tough time. And one of the things that you'll see happening is Italy during this period of turmoil, a lot of people leave Italy and immigrate to other places. The United States being one of the key ones, but also Canada, Great Britain, Australia, pick up some Italians that then goes to show how bad things are and what a challenge this nation is facing.